Subscribe to Film Companion for your film fix. Hit the bell icon so you never miss an update.
I mean, even till today, anything I do, Preeti does not leave me. Whether it's the memes, whether it's anything I do, any picture with another poster, with another film poster, it's like the Kabir Singh memes are like all the way. People, for them, they made that film almost feel lifelike, which I don't know if to say it was scary or overwhelming, but it definitely was not something we didn't expect it to become that big. My fingers are still somewhere crossed and hopeful that maybe something happens, and some kind of hoping that it gives us time to take it to a theater. But
Hi, Kiara. It's so nice to see you.
as likewise, finally, I've been watching some of your interviews, and that's what I've been doing for the last 60 to 80 days, I think, literally watching so many interviews and seeing what everybody's doing and what they're up to. And it's nice to actually be talking to you. So thanks for having me now.
Listen, I remember the last time we talked like this. It was, in fact, in your
right
home,
here.
Right there. That's your dining table.
That's my dining table. Breakfast. It's my interview spot.
And of course, Kiara, that was just before Kabir Singh released. And then it went out and became this blockbuster. And then, of course, you followed that up with good news. And, I was really thinking that, you had that massive year. And this year you were going to have 5 releases. There was, of course, Guilty dropped earlier in the year, but there was Shersha and Indu Ki Jawani and Bhool Bhulaiya 2 and Laxmmi Bomb. And now we have no visibility on when anything will come out, which is not just for you, it's for everybody. But Kiara, how did you process this pause, just, to have this pause just as your career is like taking off after 5 years of hits and misses?
It's amazing that you said this was, our last interview was just before Kabir Singh, and we're in June, and Kabir Singh released on the 21st of June. So I'm assuming sometime, it's probably been exactly a year. In fact, I want to go back and check the date of that. Was it on this day or when? But it's amazing because a lot has happened since. It's been an overwhelming year for me. So in a way, the pause was confusing, but also gave me a breather for a second. I actually, had that time to sit back and see what the year had been like, and just everything. It wasn't, of course, on one end, because of the situation and what's going on, there were a lot of thoughts in my mind. But also, in a way, I hadn't been home like this in really long. I hadn't just chilled on my bed and watched content after content, like marathons of movies and TV shows. And I've caught up on all of that. And I think it's also made me value my work so much more. And, we all miss work. I'm sure everybody's waiting to go back to what they're used to doing. For me, it's being on a movie set and acting. But I think somewhere in the whole running from movie to movie, I forgot that passion and that drive that it would give me every morning initially.
Why you got into it in the first place?
Yeah, how I got, exactly. So I feel now that I've had these 3 months, it's almost like I needed it to sort of get my mojo back and go into it with that same excitement and that same, of course I'm excited when I go on a set, but it almost becomes like, now I know, this is my routine, this is what I'm going to do. I do get nervous before I start. The first day of shoot is always a little bit like, oh my God, how am I going to crack this character and all of that. But somewhere that the way you value your first film and that first opportunity, I think now it's come back again. Like that feeling has come back. So in a way, for me, I've just been trying to look at it like the glass half full. I'm like, that's the only way to get through this whole thing is make yourself believe in some sort of positivity, because it's crazy. Like now we're talking when lockdown is almost easing out and we're looking at going back to, work, given the guidelines, all of that. But I think about it and I'm like, my apprehension is, and like for me, I get anxiety when I think about the fact that the field that we are in, and on a movie set, it's not easy to do social distancing. So some of
It's
those
not.
guidelines seem impossible for us to start work. So we know it's going to be a while. DIY is going to be the new thing. I'm up for anything that wants me to, needs me to do self-shooting and stuff. These makeshift tripods are happening and all that. And I'm like, I guess it's going to be challenging for the next 6 months for all of us, or more. We don't know. We don't have that date that we know when things are going to get better, or when we can go out in a way that is possible, given our work environment. But they're challenging times.
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. I know it's not your call, but there have been so many rumors about Laxmmi Bomb going to streaming. How would you feel if that happened?
So, I woke up today with a thought. What if I did not have Netflix, Amazon Prime, Hotstar, and the various other digital platforms that I'm watching? How would I have spent all these hours during lockdown? So in a way, I feel like that's kept me, engaged, engrossed, the kind of content I'm watching. And I'm so glad that it came to India so soon, at the time it did, because it's changed a lot. But having said that, and of course, I've done 2 of my films have gone on the OTT platform, and they've both
And the
been
first one really changed the game for you.
Absolutely. And even with Guilty, everything changed for me with these films. So I've always been, looked at it parallelly. Like for me, it's never been, I don't know if it comes on OTT or not. But having said that, Laxmmi Bomb is a film which I think it's the kind of film I would have liked and enjoyed watching. It's made for a cinema audience. It is that masala, that community watching sort of film where you want to sit in the theater with everyone and clap and CD bajao. And it's a horror comedy. There's an interesting social message in it. And it's also beautifully done. And I'm sure no matter what platform or how they decide to release it, people will watch it and enjoy it. But I think that's the film that my fingers are still somewhere crossed and hopeful that maybe something happens and it does. See, we don't know yet. There's no official confirmation. It's still uncertain. I mean, there's speculation. I'm sure they're in talks and that's what's going on. But there's a lot of speculation about it. And to be honest, even I'm speculating about what's going to happen with the film. And I've actually seen the first hour, 15 minutes of the film, which was extremely hilarious. And I know there's a lot of, post work that has to be done as well. So I'm kind of hoping that it gives us time to take it to a theater. But again, I think there's so much investment that goes into a movie that it's entirely a producer's call. So if they feel, I think whatever's best for the movie, if they feel, that's the right platform given the time, we have to be realistic also. We can't be, selfish and say we want that. Also, you have to look at the situation right now. So I just feel whatever happens for the best. So wherever it's meant to go, it will go. And so long as it's reaching everyone and keeping everyone entertained, like many films and shows have kept me entertained in these 80 days that have passed. Hopefully all these future films that are to come out will do the same.
Yeah. You talked about June being 1 year of Kabir Singh. Yeah. And I'm just wondering, Kiara, looking back at this massive, massive hit, which also generated so much noise and controversy, what did you as an actor learn out of that? And is there anything that you would do differently if you were offered the same role today and you are in a position of more power than you were a year ago? Would you do it? How would you approach something like this?
I think for any actor, when you're given a script and, for us, we even had a film to watch before we actually shot the film. So both right. Shahid and myself, we were well aware of the film and everything that we knew would come with it. Because it had already happened even with the South film, whether it was the criticism and all of that. Having said that, I think for me, I've never played a role till date that has anything like me. Like I've never played a role which has any semblance of Kiara in it. So I feel I've always looked at a character, like an artist. This is a character I have to, in fact, the most difficult thing is to really believe and make yourself believe in the thoughts and mindset of that character. And for me, Kabir Singh was probably the hardest of them all, because anyone who knows me knows how my thinking is, or But when I'm choosing to play a character like that, I'm well aware of her mindset, her background, and it's a film which I think, because it was so real and so flawed, it was almost like you cannot show this, or it was like what like. But I also feel it got I think so much was made out of it, and so much backlash happened that it was so exhausting to even then sit and I never felt the need to justify anything. I just feel everyone is entitled to an opinion, and I think we can all just agree to disagree. For me, the amount of people who loved the film and watched the film, I took that. For me, that was my biggest takeaway. The kind of, even till today, anything I do, Preeti does not leave me. Whether it's the memes, whether it's anything I do, any picture with another co-star, with another film poster, it's like the Kabir Singh memes are like all the way. People, for them, they made that film almost feel lifelike, which I don't know if to say it was scary or overwhelming, but it definitely was not something, we didn't expect it to become that big. So there's positives and negatives of looking at it, but coming back to Singh as an artist, I feel we're all free to have a perspective. So the director had his, we had ours, the audience had theirs, and that was divided into, everybody had their own take on it. But I feel you can't disrespect the intelligence of the audience. So when I look at a film given an adult rating and it comes to a theater, you know that people who are going to watch it are, I respect their mind and their intelligence. They know a certain morality, there's a certain compassion, there's a certain forgiveness in love. And I guess the ones who liked the film got onto the emotion of love. And that's why it worked for them. And for some people it didn't, and they had that debate. And on some level, I felt maybe there were things that were raised in that debate that were actually healthy and which was a good conversation to have. But for me, that's us reflecting on cinema and films. But that's where it should, that's where it should even end, right? Then you go on. But I don't feel you should say stuff like, don't make a film like this, or don't. That's reality. There are films on murder. There are all kinds of films being made. They're made in Hollywood. It's just, there's this, I don't know, I think somewhere we get really hard on certain films. I don't know if it was that fair to be that hard on and harsh on this film. But then again, I think I just look at the love that it got and look at it that way.
And move on.
Yeah, for me, I'm like, now I'm thinking about the next role and the next script, and I had moved on after the release. I guess it just went on, and I was like, listen, I have to get into this Monica zone, and that was good news happening. And I'm like, I just cannot be thinking about answering everybody's, opinion on it. I was like, you're free to have your opinion, of course, please. Great if we're discussing things. It's interesting to hear, and see different point of views. Even now, in fact, when I watch a film, I think even I look at it very differently. I'm starting to notice things, and maybe you do, because you critique films and you review them. But even like screenplay and narrative, and how important all of that is in just making a film exciting and engaging. Like even Kabir Singh was such a simple story. Actually, it was a girl meets boy love story, but it was told. The narrative went from the point of view of, it was a character-driven narrative. So you see it from Kabir's point of view. Sometimes perhaps I wonder, had you seen Preeti, when she goes missing in the second half, had you seen her life
right
in those few minutes, maybe there would have been some sort of justification, but just because you see it entirely from his point of view, I don't know, maybe I would want to know that side of the story, which we had discussed while we were making the film. But maybe had the audience seen what she went through while the separation happened, I don't know, would they be so hard? I don't know, I wonder. See, that's the exciting thing about cinema. Just you can make up and think and, look at it the way you want to.
Yeah. What's another thing that's intriguing for me is just watching a lot of actors in the last couple of months sort of find other ways to keep themselves busy. So, Karthik is doing a bunch of interviews, and Of course, Madhuri Dixit, Salman Khan. Recently,
Yeah.
Siddhant Chaturvedi all dropped songs. I think
Yeah.
Vidyut has started his own YouTube channel. I was just wondering, do you feel like you need to do something?
I really like what Karthik's been doing. In fact, I've watched a lot of his interviews, and it's very interesting. And all of them, I think whatever comes from your heart and what you want to do, I don't feel the need to do it, but I have to figure out what I want to really do. I mean, there is a lot of course, like they're doing it on their own DIY stuff that's happening, and a lot, whether it's with certain causes or brands that we're tying up with and putting out things. There's nothing that I feel like like what else can we do in this time? But I'm sure that thing will come. For me, it's really been more on watching a lot of content, doing a lot of master classes, honing my own skills really as an actor, helping my mom out at home a lot. So stuff like that's been keeping me busy. But now looking forward, I do feel that we'll all have to challenge ourselves in some way to cope with the situation and continue working, to live parallelly with what's happening and go on with work. Definitely. I mean, and that's why I keep feeling like now it's all about literally making the videos on your own, coming up with content, a lot of fun. And we have so many people, like I keep seeing all these TikTok videos and these YouTube videos of, they're just so fun. And you say time pass and all of that, but it's so exciting to see the how creative people are with their content. It always makes me sit back and I'm like, okay, so I'm an actor, and when I'm given a script, I like to sink my teeth into it and figure out stuff to do. But creating it yourself is a whole other ball game. So let's see. I don't know. I'm hoping everything I'm watching has been inspiring me. So let's see.
But Kiara, is there any pressure or is there any anxiety about being out of the public eye?
Okay, I'm going to say no, because I feel like there are 3 films which will eventually come out, and those 3 films will probably have me, because I have this feeling they'll all end up coming around the same time, as they were meant to release in the first half of this year, which is already past. So I know that'll happen. So I know that the work that I put in the last 6-8 months will see the light of day, hopefully at some point during this year. So I don't feel that the audience will miss me on screen. They'll see it whether it's on a digital or we don't know if theaters open. Other than that, should I be thinking about this? I don't know. Not yet. I haven't had that anxiety on my mind.
Don't let me suggest anxiety to you.
The only time this comes is when I think my team, I don't have a digital team. I just have my management team who sees what I'm doing, or, whatever we're planning to do in the future. I'm reading a lot of scripts, or we're deciding stuff like that. And earlier, when I had just started on, they would be like, you need to be more active on social media. And I just couldn't get it. I was like, there was a point where they said, no, let's get a team. And I was like, I just feel these things have to come naturally. Like, if you're not one of those people who's, perpetually, interested in that, then there's no point doing it. But if you are, like for me, I love random photos, throwback photos, whatever's happening. So I'm like, let it come naturally. I don't want to do anything that now I should do this, I should start this. If it's not until it doesn't come naturally, it's not even gonna connect. So I need to connect with it first, and then, take it out there with people who follow me or who like my page or all of that. But whatever I do, whatever comes instinctively, I go ahead and post that. I mean, I'm half my generation obsessed with Instagram, and I'm an addict like any other person in my generation. But yeah, I think, like I said, it has to come naturally.
Tell me, in these last few months, have you ever had a day where you were really, really just low, where, you hit that complete wall of just anxiety and feeling awful? And if you did, how did you get over it?
Of course I did. And not just once, it must have been many times. I think the beginning of lockdown was, it was just scary at first to think that we're even living in a time, like we're witnessing this. it's like war in a way. It's just, I don't know, it just kind of got to me. And it got to me because I was reading so many things which were just so heartbreaking, and seeing pictures of things that are happening, and you feel so grateful and blessed to be where you are with your family and all of that, and you see things around you, and you don't, I think, I didn't realize that that was actually making me feel low. It's not necessarily about my own life, what's going to happen. I don't even think that ever crossed my mind. Touch wood, but I feel everything else really did impact me. And then I made decisions like, I'm not going to say it publicly, but whether it's whatever, certain donations, things like that. Also just helping our friends who have organizations, and, again, another way I've used my platform by spreading the message that, because so many people are looking, they want to help and then they don't know the right route or what they feel comfortable with. So just helping each other out in that sense. I've actually DM'd so many fans back who, maybe not even fans, just random people who just want to talk about, because everyone was going through it, everybody was having these highs and lows, and I felt like we're all in this together. So the best ways to kind of just say it out loud and say it to each other, and then you kind of, it makes you feel lighter when you just say it out loud. It's like one less thing that's really like, heavy on your heart. So there were those days. So that really helped me, really talking about it. And then I know we sometimes make fun of this, but it's so true. I think just to run or some form of exercise, those happy hormones definitely release, those endorphins, whatever it is, it really does the trick.
And tell me, before we sign off, about one thing you can recommend to our viewers to watch.
Wow. I've been watching a lot of TV shows. I just finished Defending Jacob. I watched Caliphate. Defending Jacob, I really, really liked it. I thought it was
That's
the narrative. Yes, the Chris Evans one. Brilliant performances, very engaging narrative. It's almost as if I just thought that the director was just genius, because he really managed to make me feel what he wanted me to feel through the show. Because whenever I watch a suspense or a thriller, I'm always trying to outsmart the director. Like, I know this has happened or whatever. But he really, really managed to make me think in the direction that he wanted to, which I thought was brilliant. Caliphate, I was a bit late to that, but another brilliant show, so real, wonderful. I loved Patal Lok. I binge watched it. In fact, I watched Kabir Kabir recently. So I'm just naming everything I've watched now, because that's what I've been doing. So Kabir Kabir, I hadn't seen it. I watched some classics recently. Chupke Chupke. Absolutely in love with Sharmila Tagore right now. I think she's just so endearing as an actor. So many shows that I've been watching. Pushpavali was a really, really funny watch. A lot of shows. And right now, when you sleep and all the days, like all the events of the day kind of like get interlinked in a dream, that's what's happening. So the characters from shows are meeting each other in my dreams. It's like, I need to just calm down and stop the marathon for a few minutes. But yeah, I think there's some great content out there. I can send you a list if you want to put it down. What I've been watching was, and History 101, I don't know if people will like it, but I was quite intrigued. I enjoyed that as well. So there's a lot out there.
Yeah, there is. Okay, and before we say bye, you have to tell me, given that none of us can get manicures, how in the world are your nails looking like?
I did it for you. I did it just yesterday. I also realized that when you're doing housework, there's no use having nail polish on, because it's always getting chipped. But today I was just in the mood, so I was like, let me just put on some earrings, do the thing. Thanks to you, I have dressed up. In fact, when we were starting this call, there was this blanket of dark clouds that was coming down. I was about to say, oh my God, my light is going. And I was like, I miss those days, I miss the days where like the director, the light, the AD would come and say, we're losing light, we need to start the shot. And I was like, this is exactly how it felt. And thank you. You made me feel in a way like I was on set today.
Listen, hopefully soon. We're all waiting.
All in good time, yes.
All in good time. Absolutely. Kiara, it's so lovely to talk to you. Thank you so much.
Always is. Thank you. Hi, I'm Kiara Advani. If you like this video, then do subscribe to Film Companion.